See what's happening. Might have to turn that TV so I can hear myself. I'm just going to get the overall energy to start with. All my cards have been pre-shuffled. So I'm just going to do 3 shuffles. We've got the High Priestess showing up as I split the deck. The World, the High Priestess and the World versus the Moon and the High Priestess. Maybe there's 2 High Priestess. One's of the World and one's of the Moon. Interesting. Very interesting. Let's have a look. Okay, so we've got the 7 of Scoops and the 7 of Pentacles. I mean, yeah, 7 of Pentacles is coming out quite a lot, and 7 of Pentacles is almost like the Page of Pentacles. Not the Page, but it's like, okay, you're not broke, but you're not rich, okay? You're just somewhere in between, which is good because it will go 7, 8, 9 of Pentacles and then your 10 of Pentacles. So it's not a bad place to be, 7, okay? There we go again, look, 7 of Scoops again. You can't see it from that far actually, but 7 of Scoops again. Yeah, 4 of Wands. There's some choosing, some moving, choosing or moving. Choosing or moving. And I guess this is where you're stuck at the 7, maybe because 7 of Pentacles, maybe because you are still grasping the steps that you need to take to move forward, okay? So this is why you could be in the 7 of Pentacles, and maybe you're at that tipping point as well of maybe that one bad choice could put you back down to the 6, 5 of Pentacles that way. So maybe you're just in so in the middle at the moment of the place of where you're like, okay, so every choice I make is going to have to be strategic. It's going to have to be, you know, based on truth. It's going to have to be based on maybe even if I've got availability that's coming into my head. So, you know, maybe you need to, if you've got a lot on, maybe you need to slow it down a little bit and see when, you know, you've got the availability to make the steps, because sometimes we need time to make steps, you know, like say if you're busy and you've got to do something one day which is stopping you from doing something that you need to do. So this is where the prioritizing comes in order as well, because you need to ultimately decide what is the most important steps that you need to take to move forward so that you can do it in the right order. And maybe this is where the choices are coming in now, because you know that, like, basically one wrong move and you could go back. So it's very, look, Ace of Cups showing at the top of this deck. Ace of Cups. So you with you just being in the 7, you have got that little bit of security, okay? You've kind of got a helping hand at the minute, and it's helping you up, and it's good. So we've got the Wheel of Fortune as well, and the 7 of Scoops. 7 of Pentacles again. The Wheel of Fortune, what I'm talking about. It's like the Wheel of Fortune, okay? So like you're on a roulette wheel, and or like, no, one of them number wheels that goes round, and where it stops, maybe, you know, is with you because of your choices that you're going to make. So whatever choice you make is going to make the wheel spin, and then whatever it lands on is I don't know, the choice you're going to have to make. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know. Not really, but we will see. Anyway, right. What's the overall energy for the collective, please? That one wanted to show itself now. There we go. Emperor. So this is where you're moving, you're taking the steps towards becoming the Emperor, okay? This is why you're in the Seven of Pentacles, okay? Because you're moving forwards, and the Emperor card came out upright, you know, in the upright. So you are taking that one wanted to come out as well. Oh, there we go. I'm going to keep shuffling. Yeah. That was the Sun card that just fell on the floor. But it didn't fall upright. Ooh. Okay, look, it's getting messy here. Do you know what, actually, I'm going to read the Emperor out the Stranger Things book. I'm using the Stranger Things deck. I'm going to read the Emperor because I think it's important that we need to know how we embody this energy. So it says, there is nothing in any dimension quite as powerful. Well, that's the Emperor. Right, the Emperor. When you are aligned with the energies of the Emperor, you are stepping into a role of a provider and a protector. Like Jim Hopper, even when confronted with supernatural forces, he remains level-headed and logical, using procedures to solve problems. You are likely facing conflict, and this card reminds you to stand tall, summon your authority, and keep the peace. So maybe you're the type of person that's like quite an even-keeled person in an argument and stuff like that. Maybe you'll try and keep the peace and stuff like that. So it's saying that you're a protector and you solve problems with keeping the peace and stuff like that. So yeah, even you'll be forced to deal with adverse situations that are not of the norm. How you deal with them, you will deal with them level-headed and logically. And you'll use procedures in your mind to solve the problems. So yeah, this is Emperor energy that we've got here. So, do you know what? It's quite funny actually, because I wanted to do a read for masculines. Earlier I thought of an idea to do a read for Divine Masculine, and this is just confirming that I'm doing it anyway. Like I thought about setting it up that way, but I guess Spirit wanted me to set it up that way anyway, because that's what a download I had earlier. So the Tower card has just showed itself. In reverse or upright, I don't know. Upright. Right. I've just split the deck on it again. Maybe it could be a good Tower, because the Ten of Pentacles showing itself and the Page of Pentacles. So there's some kind of something that you're learning about money at the moment. Maybe it's how you're learning to take the steps towards your Ten of Pentacles. Remember, we was already in the Seven of Pentacles earlier with the Stranger Things deck. So maybe this is just a extension of that, to just say that this is what you're working towards. With the Tower here, you know, sometimes just before you get to your goal, you could give up, or the rug could be felt like it's pulled from underneath you, okay? But these are inevitable. I said adverse situations earlier. I said how you face the adverse situations, okay, is going to be how the outcome comes out. A Star card and a Page of Pentacles. Yeah, so you aligned with the stars. This is your destiny. Yeah, your destiny is to give to people and give to people. With this, if you get money or abundance, you're not reckless with it. You're kind of generous with it. Even though, be careful of that, because people can take your kindness for weakness, okay? But and it can cause problems. What's the saying? What they say, never a lender or a borrower be, because money will cause so much problems for people in friendships, relationships, children asking their parents for money, even parents asking their children for money. These things happen. You know, ultimately people can steal your money, people can trick you into giving them your money. So yeah, money is kind of a big deal, I guess, around this. But I feel like that if you do become have extra or have money, I feel like you won't be like reckless with it. You would do something frugal. You're frugal. Maybe, you know, like the smaller things in life. Yeah, look, the world card, just split it on the world card and the star. The world and the star. Yeah, so you've got so much hope for the future. But yeah, this star card as well is also a warning that if you do get excess or abundance, try not to be greedy with it. Because ultimately, if you do kind of get a bit misery with it, it can ultimately, you know, disappear as quickly as it came. And this is what we're saying about reckless spending and stuff like that. Like, just beware of reckless spending. Yeah, and just be careful not to become too greedy. But there's brightness and hope within this because the world card's backing it up. So yeah, there's some, look, money, look, travel, the world is in the palm of your hand. You've got new opportunities coming in, and this is where the choices are coming into play, because the choices that you make are ultimately going to decide your destination. Does that make sense? Right, so let's clarify the Emperor anyway. Why is the Emperor here? Please. Oh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, we got 4 5s. 4 5s just came out. The 5 of Wands, the 5 of Pentacles, the 5 of Cups, and the Hierophant, which is the number 5. That is so weird. I've never seen that before. 4 5s. 5 5 5 5. I've never seen that before. Do you know what? I could even look that up quickly. But I think this is saying this is somebody else's energy here. This Hierophant is in an official situation. They're in the bad. There's somebody here who's just come in the energy. You may have something to salvage. They're not doing as good as you are. You're in the 7 of Pentacles. They're in the 5. They're in the 5. They've been left behind. Delays around money. Arguing, battling around money. What did I say about money? I said never a lender nor a borrower be, didn't I? Money can cause so many problems. Look, money losses. And then I guess you kind of get into that energy of, oh, well, I haven't got it. So when I have got it, it's like, I'll spend it. And yeah. But look up the meaning of 555, because I think that's very significant. I think 5 is change. It's change. Because there's some kind of official situation that somebody is in that is like, right, maybe they're not in a good energy. Yeah, their money fluctuates. They're not being offered what they want with the money situation. They're not being offered what they want. And it's pissing them off. Yeah, they want a new beginning. They're trying to birth something. They're trying to birth the creation to start from the 4 of Pentacles. They're going to have to. They're going to have to start from 4 of Pentacles. But yeah, if they do it, if they do the work, look, the Emperor card's here at the end of the day. So it is meaning that you are stepping forward. Whoever this other person is, they're going to have to go through the mud, right? Yeah, Page of Pentacles. They're learning about money now. They're learning about money now. So let's just do one more shuffle and then I'll clarify why the Emperor's here. Right. Why is the Emperor here for the collective? Strength. So you're strong for yourself and other people. Maybe you're being strong for this other person as well as yourself. But don't let them rely on you for your strength while they're just sat there not trying, okay? They have to put in as much effort as you do if they're relying on you for strength, okay? Because this could ultimately cause a confrontation because you'll realise that they're not doing as much work as you are. They're like slacking and you're trying to get all the work done and they're not meeting you where you should be. Yeah, they need to get the confidence to do what they need to do, and while you're getting your confidence as well, this is where you could both help each other, ultimately. But just remember to put yourself first in the strength situation. Make sure you're strong enough to carry others, okay? I mean, I've just picked up the Chariot in reverse, so yeah, this person's kind of stuck. They've not got the wheels of motion are not in there turning their way just yet. Maybe it's just lack of effort that they're putting in. Why is the Chariot in reverse? Yeah, so they're not being offered what they want. It came out again. They're not being offered what they want. It's pissing them off, but this is what's keeping them stuck in stagnation. This attitude needs to die, okay? Because until this attitude or situation ends of their cycle of this bad thoughts around money, okay, they're not going to get their new beginning. Death card. This needs to stop. What's this got to do with the Emperor? What has this got to do with the Emperor? The Fool. The Fool reversed. So, Two of Cups. So what's this got to do with the Emperor? They've lost some kind of friendship, happiness. They need to... They didn't take care of something. They didn't take care of the Fool. They didn't take care of the Fool. So this is now leading to Two of Cups reversed. A kind of a breakup. Maybe it could have been a breakup that caused the money to spiral out of control. And maybe you kind of did better out of the breakup than they did. Which could also piss them off and keep them in kind of a bit of a stuck energy here. Could read it that way, just got that thought. The Emperor. Right. There is some plans of hope, but just watch out for trickery. Yeah, do you know what? I don't like this card. In the background, there's a circle of people. There's a circle of 3 people, and then there's one on the side with a stick. So I guess like he's the leader, and the other 3 are sat in a circle doing some kind of, there's smoke coming from the middle of the circle. So they're doing some kind of incantations. Then there's one over here with his 7 swords. He's dropped 2. But he's holding on to the rest. But if you look, he's holding on to the swords with his bare hands, right? So the sword will cut his hands. So yeah, he needs to make some plans. Maybe he wishes that he hadn't have fumbled the Fool. That's really flipping specific. Even that's crazy. Maybe he wishes he hadn't have. Maybe he wishes that he would have took a giant leap forward with somebody else, and he didn't. No, I'm not reading that. Right. Okay. So last card, Seven of Swords, trickery, planning, hoping, wishing. Could be bad on somebody else, as we've got the circle of 3 with the smoke coming from the middle of the circle with the incantations that they're doing, and then there's a one stood on the side with a sword or a stick. Maybe he's walking over to one with his sword going, I've got an idea. Really? La la la. La la land. La la land. Right, what's this fella in Hierophant in reverse? Yeah, definitely someone did some kind of magic. Someone did some magic here. But whoever they did the magic on is now in the Seven of Pentacles and growing stronger every day. And clearly the other person who was not. Yeah, just remember your self-love, okay? If these spiritual attacks are coming your way, people are, you know, speaking bad about you, that type of thing, just make sure that you love yourself, okay? Remember how special you are. Remember how blessed you are. Remember what you do for people without being acknowledged for it, okay? These are the types of things that will keep you abundant within yourself. You are able to help and love other people as much as you are able to love and help yourself if you're strong, okay? Yeah, answer the requests of your body and your soul as well. Like, listen to your inner voice, okay? Listen to your intuition. If something's telling you that something's bad, you can walk away. There's no way. Look, acceptance just came out. You know, you don't have to accept certain things. You accept what you want to accept. And you can try to find out what the universe is trying to teach you, because it says here, answer the requests of your body and your soul. So the universe is calling to your soul for a purpose, okay? But you need to find out what the universe is trying to teach you by accepting, maybe even accepting your intuition, that little voice in your head, you know? When it's telling you to do something, maybe it's telling you to move, you know, like it's time to move. Like, don't be stagnant, don't be stuck, always be moving forward, because you're wise, okay? You've got the wisdom of the universe at your hands. Maybe you know things that you don't even know how you know them things, but you know them things somehow in your mind. But yeah, you've got to keep the faith and succeed, and remember that the decisions that you make will ultimately determine the outcome of your destination. Keep your attention, okay? Keep your attention focused. Like I said, follow your intuition. If you feel like there's a bad situation, or, you know, if you feel like someone's talking about you, or you've got a funny feeling and stuff like that, trust that vibe. Trust the feeling that you get inside, because it's telling you something that you need to listen to, and this is telling you here to pay attention. Also pay attention to red flags, pay attention to people around you. The world is a very dangerous place at the moment. Pay attention to people that look at you strange, pay attention to people that follow you, pay attention, you know, this type of thing, like, because I'm not trying to scare you or anything, because you're brave, okay, but just remember that if your intuition tells you that something's off, it's probably off. Right, I'm going to close this down now. Transformation. Yeah, you're ultimately transforming your life here with the Seven of Pentacles. You're ultimately transforming everything that you're doing, all these spiritual attacks that are coming your way, all this negativity. Basically, all you're doing is transmuting it into positive power for yourself. And this is where it's whatever someone is doing to you is basically giving you the motion and the grace to move forward with self-care, self-love, and not doubting yourself. And because you're doing this, this is why the world is in your hands. The world cards here, we've had all the good cards, the world, the Wheel of Fortune, the Emperor. You're in such a good energy at the moment, and you just need to remember that life ensures you're presented with situations that will help you learn and grow. You are aware of any progress and open yourself to the wings of light. So life ensures that you're presented with situations that will help you grow and learn. You are aware of the progress and you open your wings to the light. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. So, see you on the next one. Bye.